When I started out as an oil painter, I had great teachers that encouraged us to create our own stretchers for the canvas, or at least be involved in, the creation of them. The reason I think it's important is because it gives me, as an artist, time to begin thinking about what this thing is going to become. But it's sort of a labor of love, and it gets you in the studio doing something that you don't really have to think about that much when you're doing it. So it leaves you in your studio with the thing that you're about to be creating on for kind of a long amount of time before you're actually creating. So it gives you that headspace. I started taking painting seriously as an art form, or as the form that I wanted to pursue, when I was about 19 or 20 years old. Rather than using these dry materials that, you make a mark and that's your mark, it was absolutely this whole new world that I didn't even really know the depths of, and I still don't, to be honest, because there's so many places you can take oil painting. To me, it's sort of like getting in a car and driving somewhere that I've been before. The way to get to where I want to get is familiar to me, but things come up, that you can't expect. And when I say that, I'm not referencing necessarily, the 1 hour when I'm like painting one section of a painting. I'm referencing sort of the span of the painting itself. I like to have like a very big burst of painting, paint for 2 hours very actively and expressively. And then I like to just stop, and just kind of walk out. And, I come back the next day, and oftentimes the painting has changed. And that's something I really like about oil painting, because that is what challenges me. Every single mark is a decision, but it's not a decision in the way that, it's hard to say, because it's not like a calculated thing. Because there's these other forces at work, and those are the forces of instinct, intuition, what feels right, trusting what feels right. So all of these little decisions are like woven together with this like overarching instinct that I need to trust in myself to make a mark that feels right to me. Creating artwork has always been my way of recording my reactions as I have them, reactions to my environment. It's one of the only ways I know, certainly the best way that I know to do so. I think a lot of artists have a hard time pinpointing when that started for them and even why. It's just the way that I have of responding to the world around me. By the new body of work, I'm referring to the very large-scale, highly abstract works on canvas that are coming out of my current studio in Hartford, Connecticut. I would call them imaginative spins on an experience of landscape. So it gets pretty far out, I guess, in terms of its association to the natural world. But I know that when I need to feel charged or when I need to feel inspired, it's going to be outside for the most part. It's going to be outside. Usually like somewhere up high or somewhere extreme like a mountain or an ocean, somewhere kind of epic where I feel sort of small. And I do like the fact that these paintings, particularly this new body of large paintings, sort of dwarfs the human. When you're, when I'm standing in front of one of my paintings, I feel overwhelmed by them. And it does take me out of my comfort zone, because literally I don't even know if they are going to fit places. I don't have a car that fits these. But I'm letting myself go there and letting myself see what happens. Butterflies and zebras.